Hello, welcome to theCUBE. I'm John Furrier, host. We are live on the show floor of the New York Stock Exchange, part of theCUBE's East Coast presence here at the NYSE. Of course, we have our Palo Alto studio connecting Silicon Valley and Wall Street. Today we're celebrating and honoring BitGo for their IPO. Chen Fang is here, Chief Revenue Officer, BitGo. BitGo pioneering the category. Welcome to theCUBE, congratulations on your IPO.
Thank you so much, it's been an exciting morning.
You know, one of the things about digital assets and custody that you guys have pioneered as a platform is going to open up massive opportunities. One, it's a great service. The alternative is just kind of inadequate, insurance, risk. Now you got to the blockchain. Explain the BitGo IPO. What does that mean for people that are looking at this market, looking at crypto? What does it mean? What does that signify to you?
First things first, we've been around for quite a long time. This company is 13 years in the making, and 13 years, especially in the crypto lens, that's a very, very long time. So this dates back to the early days whereby we just had Bitcoin. This is before Ethereum, this is before Solana, this is before most other white papers that existed. And for the last decade plus, what we have done is we have been an instrumental partner in providing raw infrastructure for this ecosystem. We're talking wallets, custody, et cetera, that hundreds, now thousands of companies around the world uses.
You know, you guys have built the most comprehensive custody platform. I think that's important to point out, but there's also a lot of headroom. So first, explain the custody market opportunity and kind of what is the headroom that you see, because the early adopters are getting the money in, they get the custody. What's that mean from a customer standpoint, market opportunity, and then what's the headroom?
Look, if you look at how it's set up, at the very bottom of BitGo, we're actually a security software company. Wallets is at our core. On top of wallets, we've frankly pioneered this concept of a digital asset trust company. We were one of the first digital asset trust companies in the United States. We took that model and replicated it across the world. So it doesn't matter whether you're in Europe, whether you're in MENA, Singapore, Asia, there's a version of BitGo that has the same security elements for you in that market. And then from a custody perspective, frankly, that's also a fundamental building block to the rest of the opportunity. Everything starts with custody. And on top of custody, you can unlock a bunch of additional services like trading, borrow, lend, margin, et cetera, staking as an example. In terms of the opportunities, if you think about custody as a base use case, and you basically marry that with the RWA opportunities that exist, everyone in finance across all the major cities around the world, they're talking about bringing all sorts of various RWAs on chain, right? Every single one of those tokens that eventually will be created that represents various real world assets will need a custodian of some kind. And keep in mind, these are bearer assets that we're talking about, right? So if you lose the keys, really bad things happen. You cannot recover.
Security and trust are huge.
Huge, absolutely huge. And the way we approach custody is actually very unique. When we say offline storage at BitGo, it's actually offline. We're talking about physical vaults, like literally bank vaults. With very, very thick steel. In the United States, because we love guns so much here in the US, there's guys with guns standing outside the vaults. So it's kind of ironic. The best way to protect billions, and in the future trillions of dollars worth of digital assets, ironically, is with physical security.
And physical and AI are coming together. That's one of the hottest trends. You look at NVIDIA's of the world's physical AI, but also physical AI is coming to crypto because you see the convergence of the real world, RWA, real world assets, and digital as first party citizens interacting with each other. What I like about BitGo is you guys are an infrastructure company, and I like how you guys position that way. So I want to get your thoughts, because the trend that we're seeing on the mainstreaming is moving from the classic hold, store of value, to hold and build.
That's right.
Hold and build means you're going to build value on top of the platform. This platformization of the financial stack that's happening, to me, is the biggest story. What's your reaction to that? How would you describe how you fit into that narrative?
A sea change is coming. I think the CEO of Anthropic at Davos yesterday basically said within 12 months, software engineering as a concept is not going to exist anymore. I wholeheartedly agree. So on one end, thanks to AI, anyone with an idea is able to talk to an AI and create software out of thin air, effortlessly. On this other end, the space that we're in, we're providing raw infrastructure, all the raw ingredients to make some of these future applications possible. And when you combine the raw infra that BitGo's providing, along with some other service providers, with this new world whereby anyone off the street is able to talk to an AI and create an app, think about the possibilities. We're gonna be in a world whereby there's gonna be thousands, if not tens of thousands of these new financial apps built on these rails.
I think the infrastructure you guys are building is forcing a level up that matches the AI velocity. We cover the developer market on the AI side. It's booming. We're covering the developer market on the crypto side. And you're seeing the regulatory markets, the fog is lifting.
Yes.
Okay, you got the Clarity Act, you got the Genius Act. Things are happening. You got USD1. You guys have a partnership there, so you
Absolutely.
got a one-to-one matching. You got currency locked in digitally. What's that going to enable? Because you guys do wallet services now, but there's a financial services market, there's a product and solution, so the combination of that enablement is going to bring, we predict from the theCUBE research, a tsunami of developers and builders.
Absolutely. We work very closely with developers, large and small, right? On the larger end, there's hundreds, if not thousands of brands. These are really, really big brands that basically are built on BitGo. If you pull a random name out of the hat within the crypto space, there's probably some connectivity back to BitGo. On the smaller end of the spectrum, we work with these early crypto developers as well, providing them with really low cost APIs to get started from a wallet's perspective. And then if you look at the mixture of products and services that we have, what makes BitGo unique is we have literally everything here, right? Whether it's pure software, whether it's financial services, or a mixture of the two, whether it's the US, or going back to my earlier statement about our global footprint, we are one of the most global companies in this space, right? Pick your market, pick your services, we could get you online within a matter of hours.
You know, I saw this movie about 15 years ago when Amazon Web Services came out.
Yep.
You had enterprises, you had a classic data center,
right,
and then you had enterprises move to the cloud, which is self-service. You guys have a very similar vibe.
That's right.
Enterprises are institutions,
yep,
okay? They are using the platform. Users are individuals, and then you got the whole currency side. Hold, deploy, build.
Yep.
That's kind of like, you build something, you deploy it to the cloud, and then you build on top of it. That's happening in the financial infrastructure.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Explain what that means.
Again, it's a new wave of financial applications that can be built very, very effortlessly, right? If you are in finance, absolutely zero abilities in computer science, soon enough, you're able to take some of these ideas and make it into a reality.
Well, technology is the market. Politics and technology, that's the theme at Davos. You've seen the regulatory scene, very good, friendly environment.
Yes.
Who are your primary customers right now, and who are your customers in the next wave of your journey?
Yeah, we service almost every part of the market. On the software side, there's a lot of large fintech platforms that are built on BitGo. On the traditional finance side, whether it's the hedge funds or the traders or the banks even, right? If you want to activate digital assets, we are the shop to call.
So would you say that the real market opportunity is the tailwind of assets coming on chain, that the digitization, tokenization of assets is the primary driver?
That is definitely one of the trends that we're seeing, but again, we have, our product surface area is pretty broad, and we're working with everyone, including governments as well. Directly.
Chen, thank you so much for coming on theCUBE. Congratulations
Absolutely.
on the IPO.
Thank you.
I'm John Furrier with theCUBE. You're watching the Crypto Trailblazers, a special live stream on the show floor of the New York Stock Exchange, under the bell, celebrating the IPO of BitGo. Thanks for watching.